Hey, you little mathematicians. We are beginning our new unit on statistics. Really a lot of fun. So today we are going to talk about what is a statistical question. Before we get to that, we need to talk about what is statistics. So over here we have a definition. Statistics is the practice or science of collecting and analyzing numerical data in large quantities. Wow, that's pretty wordy. So basically what this means is that we're taking a lot of data, which is information from about the world, about something specific, and that data has to be numerical in nature. So for instance, you might start to measure what is the average age that people live in Bolivia, for instance. And you might start to find out that some people live to be 97, other people live to be 83, and you start to study all this data, and all the information comes in the form of a number. How many years did somebody live? And then once you have all that data, you can analyze it. But the thing is, to do statistics well, you need a lot of data. We wouldn't want to just go look at how long two people's lives were in Bolivia and think that we could study the average length of life in Bolivia. We would need to get a lot of information to really study things thoroughly. So, what is a statistical question? Of course, we can ask a lot of different questions about the world, but only some are statistical questions. So statistical questions are ones for which you don't expect to get a single answer. Instead, you expect to get a variety of different answers. So, for instance, an example of a non-statistical question would be, what is Mr. Rag's shoe size? Right? We can't get a different variety of answers. There's only one answer to that question. I have a shoe size of 9, right? So that is not doing statistics. So we're going to look at a few pairs of questions, and I'm going to have you guys think about which one is a statistical question and which one is not. So think about this for a moment. We have two questions. First, how tall are the characters in SpongeBob's world? Second, how tall is SpongeBob? So, I know you guys are going to make fun of me because I've never actually watched the show, and so I just said SpongeBob's world. I'm sure you can all tell me where exactly he lives, but I don't know. I apologize. But in any case, one of these is a statistical question, and one is not. So think about that for a moment. Okay, so the second question, how tall is SpongeBob, is not a statistical question. Because we can only get one answer. There's going to be no variety, no variability, no difference in our answers. There's just one answer. Whereas this question, how tall are the characters in SpongeBob's world, does give us variability. There are differences, right? This little snail thingy is that tall, SpongeBob is that tall, this guy is that tall, this, I know this one's name. Patrick is that tall. And we got this one, and this one's tall mainly because of his eyes. And then we have a little short thing down here. So there's variability. And we can study things like, well, what's the tallest height of anyone in SpongeBob's world? Or what's the shortest height? Or what's the average height? We can study it in various ways. Our second pair of questions is, first, how many goals did the San Jose Sharks score in each game this season? And second, how many goals did the San Jose Sharks score this season? Think about that for a moment. All right. Yes, I think you are probably right that this first question here is our statistical question. In the first game of the year, they might have scored 3 goals, and then in the second game, they might have scored 5, and then maybe they got shut out, they didn't score any. And so we can study it. Now that we have that data, we can study it in various ways. Like, well, what was the average number of goals that the Sharks scored? How many times did they get shut out? What was the biggest number of goals that the Sharks scored? Whereas this question right here, there's only one answer. If all we know is how many goals they scored for the whole season, we can't really study that. If we went and got more information about last year's season, and the season before that, and the season before that, and the season before that, then we could start to study. We could say, hey, how did they do this year compared to last year? But as it is right now, this second question is non-statistical. We're going to talk more about this in class, but I want you to give the practice problems a shot, and have a nice evening. We'll see you tomorrow.